You don't need to count a single calorie to lose weight. You just need to stop doing this one thing. Hello, I'm Charlie, co-founder of Potential Coaching, and over the last 3 years, we've transformed over 500 people's lives. We've helped them lose weight and get to the results that they want to without feeling like they've been restricted or having to give up their social lives and the things that they love. If you're interested in working with us, there'll be a link in the caption below for access to our one-to-one premium coaching. Once you fill out that form, we'll be in touch with how we can help you. In this video, we're going to cover 4 topics. The first one will be why people overeat without realizing. The second one will be the one habit that is causing most of this. The third will be the simple fixes. And the fourth will be the mindset shift. So why do people overeat without realizing? There are a few different things that can cause this. You've got visual cues, you've got plate sizes, and you've got eating speed. So the first one would be the visual cues. Now, you've got to think when it comes to eating, you need to trick your brain. Now, if you're plating up your food on a massive, massive plate and there's not actually that much there in terms of surface area, and you've got like a tiny thing in the middle, that's actually going to result in you thinking, oh my God, there's not actually that much food there. And it means you might then start to put more on. The easiest trick with this is to just reduce the size of your plate. That way your brain will have a visual trick into thinking this is a full plate of food, when actually it could be just a smaller plate, like you know how you've got side plates and then you've got big plates. You could fill up a side plate, make it look like there's so much more volume on there, so much more food. So that's going to trick your brain. You've got to think of it. Whenever you go out for food, whenever you go to a restaurant, you eat pretty much most of the food that is in front of you. And that's the exact same at home. You don't like to look at food as wastage. So if you're going to fill a big plate, you're going to attempt to eat that and just reducing the amount of food on that plate, because most people will probably eat 90% plus of what's actually on that plate. So if you're filling up the big plate, you're going to eat most of that and it's just going to smash you way over the amount of food that you actually need. The next one is eating speeds. The hormones that send your brain the signal that you're feeling full travel from your gut through the bloodstream to your brain. And that actually takes around 15 to 20 minutes to get there. So if you're someone that eats food very, very quickly, your body's not going to process that food that you've eaten for about 15 to 20 minutes. So if it takes you 10 minutes to eat, you might still find that you're still hungry. And that's when you can start to go into the cupboards after you've eaten, grab something out the fridge, get another serving. Whereas if you just slow down your eating speed a little bit, it will then allow your body that time to process the food that you've eaten and send out the hormones that will tell you that you are feeling full. An easy trick around this is just changing the size of the cutlery that you're using. So if you use a big spoon, a big fork, if you replace that for a smaller one, that means you put less on your spoon or fork, and it means then you're putting less in your mouth, which will result in you eating less at that time. Slow down your eating and gives your body that time to process the food. And with this, the biggest fix is just environmental. This isn't to do with willpower of them topics that I've just been through, because the problem was never a lack of it. So you can just make them small swaps yourself, trick your brain, and actually allow you to eat less food without actually having to really think about it too much. Now, the one habit that actually causes most of this, and it is a super, super simple one, it's just doing things like eating out the bag. When you're eating out the bag, let's say it's a share bag of crisps. You have that, I was going to say unlimited, but you have a lot more to reach for. If you swap for a smaller bag, you've only got them that's in that bag. And that way you don't actually know how much you're consuming, because it's kind of like an empty pocket that you keep reaching into. Whereas if you can take it out of a bag, put it in a bowl, you've got more control there because it's served up. Or another example is like, let's say you've cooked your food and you just start to eat some out the pan. Again, you don't know exactly how much you're having because you've got a massive portion there. You don't have that control. So the simplest swap to navigate this bad habit is just to make sure you're portioning everything up, or you're getting the smaller bags that are already portioned up for you, and it gives you a lot more control there. So the simple fixes around this is, firstly, think of a plate whenever you're serving it. You want to do a quarter of that be a protein source. So that could be chicken, beef, turkey, lamb, tuna, whatever you want it to be. Then another quarter, you want to aim for that to be a carb source. So potatoes, rice, and then you want half the plate be filled with salad or veg. They're the low calorie options that are going to keep you, one, fuller for longer, but two, add so much more volume to your food, which you'll benefit from so much more, because you've got to think of your stomach as like a bowl. You fill that up with more low calorie, high volume foods, you're going to feel fuller a lot quicker. But also these things have fiber in them, which will keep you fuller for longer as well. And as mentioned, the other simple fix will be just slowing down how quickly you eat. When it comes to trying to lose weight, the biggest thing that you want to look at is you're not on a diet, because when you mention dieting, it's actually in your head that you're like, oh my God, I'm restricting, I'm not having this, I'm not having that, I'm not having this, I'm not having that. And that's the thing that can cause you to eventually fail, because you had that mindset of like, I'm on a diet. You need to look at this as you're just eating the same foods, just less of them. So that could mean instead of having 200 grams of pasta, you have 100 grams of pasta. Still the same thing, just a slightly smaller quantity. And that's the same with looking at it like anything. You could have a bit of chocolate instead of a full chocolate bar. You're still having the things you love, you're not restricting anything, and that way you'll stay on plan a lot easier than feeling like you're on a diet. If you are looking for more easy weight loss videos, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to be posting 2 every single week to help you with your weight loss journey.